Hi, welcome to Module 7 QC assignment, and we're going to look at how you do the part 2 of the assignment, which is we're going to practice doing key variable quality control, and we're going to pretend that we are doing this with a paper-based system. So for this assignment, you're going to compare the source document for date of informed consent to the ECRF database for records 1 and 2. So remember, I'm going to have you look at two different patients, patient 1 and patient 2. To do this QC, I'm going to have you execute a little report listing, a very simple one that has one or two values on it. That's located in REDCap. I'm going to show you how to get to that in a second. Then you're going to take that listing and you're going to compare it to a PDF that I uploaded into the database as an informed consent source document. So essentially you're going to compare your listing, your fake listing, to your fake informed consent source document. So step 1, we're going to go into REDCap, and I know I've mentioned this over and over again, but you need to go into the instructor database. Make sure you don't go into the student one. So just to be sure we're thinking about that, I want to take us over to REDCap and show you, here's the instructor database. You're going to go into that, and I want you to scroll down to the reports section. See it over here? And there's a little listing I've created for you here called the Module 7 QC listing. Click on that, and let me expand my screen a little bit, sorry. When you do that, you're going to see this simple listing. I want to point out a couple of things to you. Up here, you can print this page if you want. Whatever you do, do not edit this report, because you're actually going to edit the parameters I use to produce it. So that means the next student that comes in can't run the report. So you can print the page, you cannot edit it. When you look at the listing, you can see I've only got a few fields on here. The record ID, I can't emphasize enough that you always have to know what patient you're looking at, what patient you're working in. Some more of that identifier information. You always want to check your study sponsor and the study name and the site number. And then what we're really interested in here is the date the informed consent was signed. So that's the value you're going to be checking. But you're going to confirm before you do your checks that you are in the correct record numbers. We're going to start with record 1. Then you're going to have to come back on your own and repeat everything for record 2. All right? So, let me adjust my screen again a little bit. After you have run your little QC report and either chosen to print it or saved a tab over to another screen, whatever works for you, then we're going to talk about how you can actually look at the PDF. There's a couple of different ways to do it. I'm going to show you how to go in through the record number itself on the report listing. So we're going to go back over to our mock database. You can see I just click on this record number, and it's going to take me to the common identifier forms, because that is the first form for that patient. So to get to the informed consent, you're still in record 1 over here on this menu. You just click on informed consent, and you can see this is the date that's on the listing because the listing pulled from the database. But what we're interested in is this informed consent document that I uploaded. So all you have to do to download that is click on it. It's going to download the document for you. Let me see if I can scroll this down a little bit so you can see it. I might not be able to. So you should see a PDF signal there. And then all you have to do is click on that PDF and open it. And again, if you want, you can print this PDF if that's easier for you to work on paper, or you can flip back and forth between the screen. But what I want to show you is a couple of things on this informed consent. I signed it, but nobody witnessed my signature. And the date over here, you can see it was 2015, but now it's 2014. So that's a whole nother can of worms because there's no notations. But we did get an appropriate signature from the researcher, and we didn't need a translator, so that part's taken care of. So let's go back over to our screen in our instructions. And another way you can do that is to simply go into the record status dashboard and pick up the informed consent for records 1 and 2. So you can do that either way. Once you get your listing and your informed consent, you really just have to compare the two dates and make sure they match. If they don't match, you need to record your observations in that mock quality control report we talked about. So you'll put that in table 1, And then you need to go back and do the whole thing for record 2. You need to go to the listing, you need to look at the patient, you need to look at the PDF, and then you need to record your observations. So that's it. Contact me if you have any questions.